Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a Battleground Blitz slash Battleground tier list. This is something you guys asked me to do on stream slash videos recently. So let's go ahead and get this started. So first, quick few disclaimers. I know tier lists, everybody's always going to have their own opinion and disagree, and that's perfectly fine. I've done so many Battlegrounds lately since the patches dropped, and I played almost everything and as well as faced a bunch of different things. So this is going to be my opinion, of course. And yeah, so let's go ahead and dive right in. First up is going to be Affliction Warlock going in the Insane tier. I'm predicting they will be really, really good in Season 2. Dot classes have always been really crazy for Battlegrounds. They also have Healer Dispel Protection, which is very powerful against healers. And in Battleground Blitz, where stuff I feel like has a slower death rate compared to normal Battlegrounds, at least in the Battleground Blitzes that I've done when I was climbing rating on my rogue last season. They're just really powerful with the Dispel Healer protection. Also, Shadow Rift is a really powerful ability for Battlegrounds. I cannot stress that enough. It is so good for Battlegrounds sometimes. So, those are my main reasons on why I'm putting Affliction in the Insane tier. Also, I hear the tier will make Affliction really broken this season as well. Up next is Destro. I'm predicting Destro is going to be really good for Battlegrounds as well this season. The only reason why I'm putting it in S tier instead of the Insane tier is the fact that it's more nuke playstyle compared to like rot playstyle with Affliction. And I feel like rot classes are a lot stronger in Battleground type settings than the nuke playstyle. But this is just from my Battleground Blitz experiences. But however, saying that, I still say Destro is going to be really good. It's my personal favorite Warlock spec personally. Um, so I think it'll be really good. It's also getting a 25, not 25%, sorry, 20% Chaos Bolt buff tomorrow. So we'll see even some more Chaos Bolt damage. So it'll be really nice. But I'm predicting Destro is going to be really good this season. And that's the reason why I'm putting it on S tier. Demo, I'm not predicting will be as amazing. It's got too much ramp time. I think they'll be similar to Beastmastery where they're good base defenders, but that's just about where I would put them at. I just don't think they're as amazing in Battleground Blitz personally. I mean, they're really good with CC, and that's probably about the main thing I would say for Demo, but they just got too much ramp time, and I would say they would put up just better base defending, and that's the reason why I'm putting them in B tier. So that's pretty much it for Demo. Up next is Marksman. I'm predicting they will be really insane this season, especially with the whole double tap thing. They can do double tap twice and just absolutely shred things. They also have really insane cleave damage currently at the moment. I've seen so many marksman hunters just absolutely shred teams, and they might get nerfed. Gear might change a little bit, but even so, if that happens, they would probably move down to just S tier. But for right now, I'm predicting they'll be in the insane tier. If they do end up getting nerfed and gear changes things, I'm predicting they will be S tier. I don't think they'll go any lower than that personally, but that's the reason why I'm putting them in the insane tier. Is they'll just be insane in cleave fights and team fights with their damage at the moment. Up next is Survival Hunter. I think they'll be an A tier. You could probably make an argument for S tier, but I think there are some other classes that are a little bit better than Survival Hunter at the moment, and that's the reason why I'm just putting them in A tier. They have pretty much kind of like the similar things as Marksman at the moment. I just think they're a little bit better than Survival Hunter at the moment. So that's the reason why I am putting Survival on A tier. Like I said, you can make an argument for S tier. Depends on who you ask, but I think Survival is just more so in the A tier at the moment. I don't think they're bad at all. In fact, I think they're good. I just don't think they're good enough to be in the S tier at the moment. And then up next is Beastmaster Hunter. Similar to Survival Hunter, I think that you can make the case for either S tier or A tier. You could probably put them in S tier just because that Beastmastery are usually the base defenders for the Hunter spec. Every time I got in Battleground Blitz, everybody always asks, Hunter, can you base it? Hunter, can you base it every single time? So Beastmastery is generally the base sitter in Battleground Blitz almost every single time. And if it's not usually hunters, it's usually rogues, at least from my experience. So I'm putting them in S tier for that reason. Outside of that, they would be kind of in a similar spot to Survival Hunter. But yeah, so that's my experience for Beast Mastery currently at the moment. Up next is Devastation Evoker. I think they are absolutely crazy for battlegrounds at the moment. They have some insane cleave damage. Rescue is really crazy for saving teammates. They also have decent self healing if absolutely needed. I don't really care for this honor talent that much, but the line of sight talent can sometimes help in battlegrounds as well. They also have a PvP talent where that is very useful for like Eye of the Storm, for example, where you can grab an enemy team healer and then knock them off immediately and take a healer at the team fights. It also helps on AB Lumber Mill as well. So between all of that, and they have some crazy damage. They are currently insane, and I'm predicting them to be really crazy this season. Up next is Sub Rogue. People always tell me that Sub Rogue is never really that great and all that, but I still think they're insane for Battleground Blitz because Sub Rogue, or not Sub Rogue, but Rogue specifically in general, is really good for Battleground Blitz. Like in my opinion, Rogue is probably the best Battleground Blitz class in the game. They are really good at ninjing bases. They can really lock a healer at the team fight. They did lose Shadowy Duel this patch, but however, saying that, Sub Rogue is really crazy at locking people down. They're really good at ninjing stuff, which is what rogues are really best at. So while everybody else is just fighting over a base over and over, rogues can ninja stuff. So that's the reason why I'm putting it in the insane category. Some people might disagree and say Sub Rogue sucks. However, I really do disagree. I think Sub Rogue is pretty much in the insane category. And this goes for Assassin as well, which is pretty much what I play. Assassin Rogue is similar to Sub Rogue, where they're just really good at ninjaing things, and also add to the benefit, unlike Sub, Assassin Rogue can actually be good in team fights as well, because they can just spread dots and garrote silence everything that is nearby, which can absolutely put some panic on healers. So I'm putting Assassin Rogue in the insane category for that reason. So between being able to solo bases, being good in team fights, Assassin can pretty much do it all. Same thing for Outlaw Rogue. You can go off in ninja bases similar to Sub Rogue and Assassin, and also Outlaw, in my opinion, is similar to Assassin Rogue, where they are actually good in team fights, where Sub Rogue kind of isn't, and Sub Rogue can go off and, you know, better in solo type things. But yeah, all three Rogue specs are pretty good in Battleground Blitz, and I gave my case why. They're just good at ninjing stuff, um, you know, and Outlaw and Assassin Rogue can also be in team fights as well, so they can pretty much do everything. It just depends entirely on the situation. The only Battleground map that, in my opinion, rogues suck on is Temple, but other than that, rogues in general are just one of the strongest Battleground Blitz classes in the game. Up next is Ellie. I think Ellie has kind of dropped off um, this patch. I'm not really sure where I want to put them yet. I haven't really played my Shaman that much, and I have barely seen any Ellies in general this patch. It's like they kind of just stopped playing. I think they either are an A or B tier at the moment. I don't think they're really that strong. They have so much ramp up time to kind of just do damage at the moment, and I don't think they bring as much to Battlegrounds as much as like some other specs in the game at the moment. In my opinion, they have some good utility, and Thunderstorm can be pretty useful in some situations, but and Hex can be pretty good to probably ninja some bases. I've seen some Shamans do that, but yeah, Elemental I feel like has kind of just dropped off in the I feel like the damage department. They might be better later down the line, but this is just from experience of facing them in Battlegrounds lately, as I haven't played my Shaman yet. But that's my case for making it in the A tier. Enhancement Shaman, I feel like is actually kind of better than Ellie. Um, but I'm still gonna put them on the A tier personally. You could probably make a case for S tier. I've actually seen way more enhancements than Ellie, so you could probably make a case for an S or A tier. But I do feel like there's some specs that are better than enhancements, so that's my case for making it in the A tier. I do think they're still pretty good, but it's kind of the similar situation to Survival Hunter, where I'm just gonna rate them that there's just better specs in the game at the moment, in my opinion. and that's the reason why I'm making a case for the A tier, where they're in the middle. They're not bad. They're not super amazing. That's pretty much my case. Boomkin, really good, insane. They've always been the battleground spec. I absolutely have said this all the time on stream. If there's any class, or I should say spec, sorry, if there's any spec in the game that have always been the battleground spec, similar to Affliction, it's Boomkin. They got the ultimate combo between Cyclone and Root. So you can Root Beam like several people at once if you get them all stacked. You can Cyclone and then Root Beam the healer and completely lock them out in enough time to kill something. And they also have, if you absolutely have to, they can grab a flag and have decent mobility to run it. Wouldn't recommend, but sometimes you just have to be in that moment and run a flag because not everybody will run it and step up for it, as I've done battleground blitzes where that's happened. So, battleground blitz, they can be useful for that. Basically, they're pretty much good for everything. Team fights, flag carrying, if you absolutely have to, not recommended, but sometimes you may have to do it. You got no other choice. They got really good CC. Obviously, the only thing they can't really do is they're not good at 1v1ing, stuff like that to ninja bases. Not that that's a wise idea, but sometimes battleground blitz is a situation you just have to decide what to do in that moment. But yeah, Boomkin, always good. I could say a lot of good things about it. Highly recommend. It is going to be insane this season. Up next is Feral. They're actually getting nerfed tomorrow with their bites and like a small 5% nerf to their burst, I think, if I remember right. However, saying that, they belong in the same category as Rogue. They're going to be going off doing their own thing, trying to ninja bases. So, Feral is obviously good in that kind of department. Also, Feral Druid can be good in teamfights if necessary as well, similar to Assassination. So that's the reason why I'm putting them in the same category. I think they will be pretty good this season. If people can probably disagree with me on this one, but I would only go as far as lowering them to S rank, or not S rank, sorry, to the S category. So, but for me personally, after playing Feral this patch, I am predicting they will be pretty good this season. And like I said, I'm rating them in the same category as Rogue, where they are really good base ninjas. And unlike Rogue, they can also be really good flag carriers. I've seen a lot of Ferals recently flag carry as well, and they make really good flag carriers as well, especially with the whole Mistweaver monk change as well. So we'll see how that turns out. Up next is Fire Mage. I would put them at A tier, and the reason why I'm putting them at A tier is that I feel like um, they're really good. You could probably make a case for them in S tier, but I feel like I'll put them in S tier. I feel like they're still pretty good, and they're more kind of like they're kind of more like Destro, I guess I should say. I played Fire Mage for a little bit on stream for the first time in a while, and they do some really good damage, so I will admit that. And also, I faced a lot of good Fire Mages recently, so yeah, I think they deserve S tier. Ice Wall really helps out quite a bit in Battlegrounds. I cannot stress this enough how much Ice Wall can change the tide of a Battleground Blitz game. Like, it is the most powerful Battleground Blitz ability in the game. And up next is Frost Mage. I'm putting this in the S tier. It is it's my favorite Mage spec, and I feel like it's the best out of the two Mage specs. It has permanent slows on everything. It has decent cleave damage. Ice Wall, again, one of the most powerful abilities in the game. All three Mage specs have it, of course. And I also have two Ice Blocks, unlike Arcane and Fire. And that's my main reason why I'm predicting they'll be really good this season. Arcane, I'm going to be putting in S tier along with Fire. They have really good mobility, good against melee classes. Can run to help out a base if needed. Ice Wall, again, one of the most powerful abilities in Battleground Blitz. Cannot stress that enough. And that's the reason why I'm putting it in S tier, is just pretty much all those things right there. Up next is Fury Warrior. I'm going to be putting this in the A category. They're getting nerfed tomorrow, and Warriors in general are kind of better with maybe like a duo type of thing. I don't think Fury Warrior is bad, and if they do play Death Wish and have a really good healer, they can absolutely shred everything. But that's with like a gimmicky Death Wish build, and that's if you're running with somebody. So that's the reason why I'm putting them in A tier. It's just I feel like they're not bad, they're not super amazing, but I feel like Warriors kind of just struggle a little bit more without like having somebody to back them up, in my opinion. So that's the reason why I'm putting them in A tier. Arms Warriors getting some huge nerfs tomorrow. Right now I would have put them in the insane category, but after the nerfs, I would probably put them in the A tier. I don't think they are deserving of the A tier. I mean, of the S tier. Sorry, I don't think they deserve to be an S tier. I think they deserve to be an A tier. Similar to Fury, I think they'll be pretty good still. I just don't think they're in. They definitely aren't going to be in the insane category, and I don't think they'll be in the S category. I think their damage will kind of drop off a little bit, and then the only thing they kind of bring in battlegrounds is usually Mortal Strike, in my opinion. I don't think they really bring much of anything else. So that's the reason why I'm putting them in the A category. Up next is Havoc Demon Hunter. I'm gonna put Havoc Demon Hunter in the S category. I think you could make a case for them being in the insane category, but I'm gonna put them in the S category. I think they'll be pretty good. They have the mobility to get out to help out teammates if they needed. They'll have pretty good insane damage this season. And they have some okay CC between Fear and Imprison. You can also glimpse and avoid CC if absolutely necessary. And I feel like they're kind of similar to Druid, where if you have to flag carry, you can if you absolutely have to. But yeah, that's the reason why I'm putting Havoc Demon Hunter in the S category. I'm just predicting they will be pretty good in Season 2. Up next is Ret Paladin. I'm predicting they'll be pretty good in Season 2 and Battleground Blitz as well. Ret Paladin is also kind of similar to Druid and Warlock, where they're usually pretty notorious for being pretty good in Battlegrounds. They also have really good support with Blessing of Sacrifice, so if you have to save a teammate and peel for them with like freedoms, or Lay on Hands can definitely save a teammate. I cannot tell you how many times somebody has been saved with Lay on Hands. So they are pretty much the ultimate support. They have really good strong burst at the moment. They can also spin flags for a very long time because you can bubble with Forbidden up now. So for example, I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of Paladins do this, but like, I mean, later down the line they do. But like, for example, if you're base defending for whatever reason, you can lay on hands yourself if you're low, and then you can spin it with bubble if you get low again, and plus you have Shield of Vengeance, and you just have so long that you can spin a flag, um, and that's those are all pretty much the main reasons why Red Paladin is in S tier for me at the moment. You can make a case, I guess, for Insane, but I think Red Paladin is more deserving in S tier at the moment. Up next is Shadow Priest. I'm putting this in the Insane category. I've been playing a lot more Shadow Priest lately on stream. And the reason why I'm putting Shadow Priest in S tier is because a bunch of multiple reasons. One, they're really good against healers. They have a silence, they have siphoning. I like to call Shadow Priest personally the healer killer. They're besides Rogue, I would think Shadow Priest is probably the second best healer killing class in the game. So they're very strong against healers. On top of that, Shadow Priest has Leap of Faith and Life Swap, which can be huge lifesavers to saving a teammate, especially your own flag carrier. Like, for example, depending on what you do in like Warsong or Twin Peaks, you can save them by bringing them up to the second floor, or maybe you're on offense. I don't know, up to you. Sometimes it just every player is different, but you know, you get the point. You can also save flag carriers when you're trying to get them to your base. You might be escorting them at that moment. But yeah, you guys pretty much get the point. They're really good against healers. They're really good at saving teammates, um, and they're really good at rotting classes down. And they actually have some pretty good burst with Void Torrent at the moment as well. So they are very insane at the moment, and why I'm putting them in the insane category. Up next is Frost DK. So Frost DK is insane at the moment. However, they are getting nerfed. Their one ability that is doing absolutely bonkers damage is getting nerfed. So they're probably going to drop off, and also the fact that it really is easy to avoid as well. So I'm putting Frost DK in the A category. You could probably make a case for it in the B category. However, the reason why I'm putting it in the A category is because of a few reasons. They are really good in battlegrounds still because they can AoE cleave people down. And even besides that, they have Death Grip. Death Grip is one of the most powerful abilities in battlegrounds. So you can grip your target in, and then everybody will just pounce them and cleave them down, and it is so good, especially with Abomination Limb. Abomination Limb, you pull everybody in, you pop your Cindergross Fury, everybody's AoE stunned, and everybody just cleaves them down. Especially if you have a Devastation Evoker on your team too, everything just drops. So that's why I'm making a case for it in the A category. I don't think after the nerfs they'll be even in the S category, but that's just my personal opinion. So, and then up next is Unholy DK. I'm putting them in the same category as Frost. I think they'll probably be better than Frost after the nerfs. We'll see. You could probably make a case for it in S category for this one, but I still think they'll be in the A category. I think they'll be pretty good in Battleground Blitz for the same exact reasons as Frost. They will be pretty good for cleaving, and they'll be good for death gripping targets in and just cleaving them down. And that's my case for making Unholy in the A category. You can make a case for it in the S category. So I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments on what you would put for Unholy there. But that's my personal case for the A category for Unholy. Up next is Windwalker. Windwalker is getting a 20% nerf to their slicing winds at the moment. I would put them in the S category. This is one where you could also debate for putting in the insane tier. I've debated on whether or not where to put this one. I'm gonna leave them in the S category, I think, because I think the insane category is way stronger in Battleground Blitz than Windwalker is. Windwalker is really good in team fights, of course. I think they're better than the ones in the A category. That's probably about where I would put them. So I think that's a pretty good area to put Windwalker. Is just that they're good in team fights. They can probably go off in ninja base as well, although you can't sneak up on it. But yeah, so I would put Windwalker just because they have the mobility to get to a base to help it out if needed. They're decent 1v1 class, so you can try and go for some base ninjas in like AB or Deep Wind, for example. Um, and they can make pretty good flag carriers. I haven't tested this personally. I imagine it's the same. Nobody said anything about Windwalker, just Mistweaver. But they did change where Mistweavers can't port with the flag, so I don't know if Windwalker can yet. But yeah, so that's my cases for Windwalker. I think it'll be pretty good this season. I'm predicting it'll be pretty good even after the 20% slicing wind nerf. I think they'll be pretty good this season. That's why I'm putting it in S tier. And Augmentation, I doesn't even exist anymore. Like it's pretty much just play Devastation. Augmentation is just not that good at the moment. I have I haven't even seen one. It's like they don't even exist anymore. So B tier, unfortunately. And yeah, so anyways, this is my Battleground Blitz Battleground tier list. I imagine some people will probably disagree with my choices, but this is just from doing Battlegrounds nonstop the past week, and this is my prediction for the next season. This does, like I said, include the nerfs for tomorrow. And there's going to be more tuning in the future, so some things are probably going to change, but this is what you guys wanted. And yeah, see you guys later.